Lego Kings. Every great castle needs one, but which one deserves to take a seat at your throne? Today, we'll be ranking them all. Let's kick things off with the Royal Knights King. This guy was released in the 1995 King's Carriage set. He's pretty stylish for an old Lego figure, with his white plume and golden lion print torso. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Next up, we have another Royal Knights King. He was released in 1995 as part of the Royal Knights Castle set. This time he came with a great looking lion cape, which just by itself is worth over $40. But unfortunately they removed his black and white legs and replaced them with generic looking blue ones. This guy is the best old school Lego King, but without leg printing, he's not making it past A tier. Now, 1995 was a busy year for Lego, and they also released another Royal Knights King, featuring in 2 more castle sets. But this time, they removed some of his most iconic and aesthetically pleasing accessories. The plume and the lion cape. I suppose they did it because he's on a horse, or whatever. But come on guys, a little effort goes a long way. This bloke is C tier. Moving on from the Royal Knights, we have the Chess King. He was released in 1998 and came with this badly designed armchair that's supposed to be a throne. And I'm not sure what he has to do with chess, but anyway, he's got quite a unique torso print. He also comes with a moulded red cape, and he has a banging moustache, so I'm going to put him in B tier. Next up we have King Leo from Knights Kingdom 1. He was released in the year 2000 and appeared in 5 sets. King Leo, King Leo's Cart, King Leo's Castle, Royal Joust, and this extremely rare King Leo photo frame. I could only find 2 or 3 listings of it online. King Leo is nothing too special, but he's got a pretty cool, mean face, and was the first Lego King to receive leg printing. So for that, he's going in B tier. Next, we have the Knights Kingdom 2, King Matthias. He came out in 2004 and appeared in 3 sets: the Castle of Morcia, King's Siege Tower, and the Grand Tournament. This was the first Lego King to receive modern face printing, but aside from that, there's not too much going on. It seems like Lego designers' ex machina was to just slap a lion head on everything and call it a day. Unfortunately, that's not enough to create a great minifigure. C tier. A year later, in 2005, we saw the release of the Lego chess set, and with that came another King Matthias. This time, he was given a light bluish grey cape, which looks cool, and I think it's just enough to bump him up to B tier. In the 2005 Lego chess set, we also received an opposing king, the Scorpion King. This minifig looks awesome, and would make a great villain to pit against the Lion Knights. His face print is striking and matches perfectly with his scorpion torso, but with no leg printing, he's just not A tier material. Next up, we have the Knights Kingdom 2, King Jaco. He was released in 2006 with the Mistlands Tower set. He was the first king to receive a proper moulded armor piece, which I think is cool. I'm not really a fan of the print that they chose to put on it, but I suppose it's better than nothing. This guy is probably C tier. Now guys, I don't know what is up with this next king.
Breastplate, armor over black, king.
He was released in 2006 as part of the Royal King's Castle, which is actually an awesome looking set. Maybe that's why the Lego factory's printer broke halfway through production, and they released a Magisto with no printing, a blacksmith with no printing, and a knight who looks like a kid took to him with a can of spray paint. This piece of shit is going straight to the bottom. Finally, we have a solid king. This is the fantasy era Crown King with cape. He was first featured in the 2007 chess set, as well as the King's Castle Siege. His outfit has a matching blue and gold colour scheme, and his torso print is beautifully detailed. Unfortunately, the only thing holding him back from S tier is the lack of leg printing. The following year, in 2008, we got another fantasy era Crown King, this time with no cape. He featured in yet another chess set called Giant Chess. I suppose everybody scrapped this thing for parts, because finding a full set is both incredibly rare and insanely expensive. This king is going in B tier. For the last of the fantasy era Crown Kings, we have this bloke, released in 2009 in the Trolls Mountain Fortress set. He comes with a nice looking unique torso and matching leg printing, but without a plume or a cape. I think I'll put him in A tier. Next up, we have the Kingdom's Lion King with Plume. He came with the King's Castle set in 2010. And finally in 2010, Lego got their shit together. This minifigure is essentially perfect. He comes with a unique torso print, both front and back, intricately designed leg printing, as well as a printed torso armor piece. All of this in a striking red and gold color scheme that blends together exquisitely. You put him on top of an armored horse with a sword and a shield, and this guy is the absolute king of kings. 100% S tier. And here we have the 2011 Kingdom's Lion King. He was featured in the fairy tale and historic minifigure set. And I'm assuming this is like the previous king's prepubescent nephew who usurped his throne, or something. Whatever the case may be, he looks far too young to be a king, and has no unique prints or parts. C tier. Next, we have the very same figure, released in the same set, only this time, his eyebrows have changed colour, from black to red, making an already bad figure even worse.
You must be a Weasley.
D tier. Next up is another Kingdom's Lion King variant. This one appeared in 2011 in the King's Carriage set, as well as in the absolutely goated Kingdom's Joust. This fig has the best torso and leg printing out of any of the kings Lego have ever produced. It's unfortunate that he doesn't come with a plume, but let's be real, you can add one in about 5 seconds. Due to the sheer drip of this absolute chad, he's gotta be S tier. The Lego Castle theme was revived in 2013 with the release of the King's Castle. In this set, we got another Lion King, this time in brilliant blue. He's got some nice metallic gold motifs and subtle leg prints that make for an all-round great minifig. But I like my kings in red, so he's going in A tier. Later on in 2013, we got another boy king, simply called Lion King Quarters. He featured in an exclusive Toys R Us minifigure release. This time, he has an angry boy face instead of a happy boy face. Not sure what Lego was thinking with this one, but he's not a king I'd be putting in my castle. C tier. Next, we have the Castle King's Knight. He came with the 2014 Lego Juniors Knights Castle, and I'm still not sure whether he's a knight or a king, but he's got a crown, so let's call him a king. He has no unique prints, and is generally kind of lackluster, so I'm gonna put him in C tier. In 2015, we got the release of the collectible minifigure Series 13, and with it came the classic King. Personally, I prefer my kings draped in metallic gold printing, so he isn't my all-time favourite, but he is incredibly iconic. With his dual moulded legs, luxurious fur coat, and fine beard, I think he's got what it takes to just scrape into S tier. Moving on, we got the Warrior King with Fleur-de-Lis, released in 2016 in another Toys R Us exclusive minifig collection. Despite this guy's simple appearance and low value on the aftermarket, I actually rate him. I like the Fleur-de-Lis torso print mixed with the stark white arms, and I think his hair and beard printing look very historically accurate for a medieval king. His top half is A tier, but the lack of leg printing will bring him down to a B. Next up, we have the Nexo Knight's King Halbert. He came with the 2016 King's Mech. He's really an awesome minifigure. But in order to use him in a castle or medieval setting, I think you would have to swap out his torso and legs. Because of this, I'm gonna have to place him in B tier. For the final king, we have another Nexo Knight's King Halbert, this time in all blue. He was released in 2017 in the Nighton Castle set, and he doesn't necessarily look like he's wearing a carbon fiber mech suit, so you probably could get away with putting him in a medieval setting as is. But I'm still going to put him in B tier. And that's it. We haven't seen a new king since 2017. And while I love Lego's focus on
inclusion and diversity,
I do miss the traditionally masculine leaders like these kings. I can't help but wonder, have we seen the end of the classic Lego king?